When I was on this stage in 2019, we introduced Phase 4 of the Marvel
Trash-ass
Cinematic
phase.
Universe. But what's fun to do here is to talk a little bit about the future. We are shooting right now our new series for Disney Plus, Echo.
Shazam has always been off kind
Oh,
of
wrong
in his own
phase.
part of the
Wrong
DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash.
Filoni's movie will apparently close out the New Republic, tying up the stories told within the Disney Plus shows.
Blade, starring Mahershala Ali, comes out November 3rd, and we start filming this October.
A fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe.
Our series, Ironheart.
And to move into Blue Beetle,
The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take us
have
into a
started to
galaxy
map
of
out an
shadowy
8 to 10
secrets
year plan
and
of
emerging
what
dark
DC
side
Studios will be
in the
in
final
film,
days.
television.
Hold up. DC got a universe, but they had a plan? Did they cancel it or what? What the fuck happened? Oh, I think they did. No, I don't fuck. Didn't Black Adam fail or something like that? So they canceled it, I think. I don't know. I don't watch fucking DC. That shit be
The year is
trash.
2008, and superhero movies are pretty hit or miss. Last year,
No. Some real shit. Niggas be talking down on the Incredible Hulk. That shit raw. The Incredible Hulk is raw. Especially when you watch the what the fuck is it? The director's cut. It's better. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I like the Incredible Hulk since it came out in '08. I don't give a fuck. I stood on that hill and I'm gonna die on that hill. That's crazy how niggas disrespect the Incredible Hulk like that. Like that shit wasn't raw as fuck. But now y'all all miss it after y'all been talking bad about how bad the movie is for 10 plus years. Now y'all want him back. Man, fuck y'all. I fucked with the movie since the beginning.
movies are pretty hit or miss. Last year, in 2007, the hugely popular Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy face planted at the finish line, with critics and audiences tearing it apart.
Find us some shade. Thanks, Alex.
But this didn't slow the demand for these movies from nerds everywhere. And these nerds had no idea.
I saw Spider-Man 3 in the movies back in the day when that shit came out. That nigga was so hyped about that damn movie. That shit was crazy. Shit was trash. I even knew it back in the day. It had too much going on.
What was about to happen, because the summer of 2008 was the summer of the superhero. Within 3 months of each other, audiences were treated to The Dark Knight and the very first Iron Man movie.
Now, obviously, The Dark Knight was incredible, but that's not what this video is
fuck it.
about, so sorry, Christian Bale.
Sorry.
What the fuck is it with you?
I don't know. We're sorry.
What don't you fucking understand?
Sorry.
So Iron Man comes out and strikes this perfect
I
balance.
saw Iron Man on bootleg. That shit was raw. It was, well, I ain't gonna say raw. It was alright. It was alright. I wasn't that hyped about it in the beginning. I was more hyped for Incredible Hulk, like I said, because that shit was raw as fuck to me. But I had to watch that one on, I remember FX. It used to come on FX all the time. And I finally got to watch it. I'm like, I fuck with this shit. Then I found out everybody hated it. I'm like, how the fuck do you hate that movie? That shit was raw. The Incredible Hulk was raw as fuck, bro. Nigga was strong as fuck. Nigga looked like he was ready to fuck some shit up, bro. That shit was raw. Niggas were tripping.
Between humor and serious storytelling. We got this really intimate story about a flawed man who slowly grows as a person throughout the movie. The focus of the film doesn't seem to be, hey, check out this live action version of your favorite comic book hero. It's focused on what any regular good movie does, telling a compelling story. The realistic CGI, pop culture references, and real world political inspiration of Tony Stark being a weapons manufacturer for the war in Afghanistan made it much more believable than comic adaptations of the past, like Catwoman.
I ain't gonna lie. I can't even hate on Catwoman, cause I never seen the full damn movie. Every time I seen it, I used to just click off. I always seen parts of it. That and Daredevil. No, I seen the full Daredevil, and it was alright. It wasn't as, it had the bad scenes obviously when it was in the park and shit doing that little bullshit. That was horrible. And then you had I never understood the ending of Daredevil. I'm not gonna lie. I was always confused if he died or not. I ain't know what the fuck was going on. I'm like, did he die? What happened? What the fuck? I didn't understand it.
Iron Man wasn't even a very well-known or well-liked character to the general public when the movie came out, so it was a hit more because of the film itself rather than it having a recognizable hero in it. And after the movie's done, don't leave, because we
Bullshit.
have a little surprise for you after the credits roll.
Who the hell are you? Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
Oh, okay, that's cool. The Avengers are like that superhero team, right? With Captain America, Hulk, and Spider-Man.
Don't say his name! Oh my god!
What?
Great. Real great. Sony owns them, and now we have to pay them money because you mentioned them.
Oh.
But don't worry. If you love Iron Man, we got a lot cooking here at Marvel Studios. You remember the Hulk from like 5 years ago?
Oh yeah, people didn't really like that
Well,
one.
we got a sequel to it now.
That was a sequel?
Wait, was Hulk always played by Edward Norton?
It's not important. Just watch until the ending.
You know, I hate
There
to
was
say
a
Activision
sequel?
in general, but that Super Soldier program was put on ice for a reason. I've always felt that Hardwire was much more reliable.
Just 1 year after Iron Man.
And the Hulk.
Sure, and the Hulk. Disney purchased...
And they need to put some respect on the Hulk, man. What the hell they got going on? Like, the Hulk wasn't a raw-ass movie. I don't care what nobody say. That shit was raw.
Marvel Studios for $4 billion. This purchase kicked off one of the most lucrative powerhouses in entertainment of all time, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Listen, most of us know the history of the MCU, whether you like the movies or not. Marvel movies have been unavoidable for the last 15 years. But if you're young enough where you don't exactly remember why it became such a massive success, Marvel was the first franchise to start to interconnect their stories across multiple movies, similar to comic books.
At the time for us as 11-year-olds, this was super exciting. Not only would you routinely get a pretty
11.
quality comic book movie of a new hero every year, you'd get a little hint at the end of each movie on where the story was headed. Building up to 2012's Avengers, this felt really new.
I ain't gonna lie, the worst movies in the MCU was always Thor. He ain't had nothing but one good movie out of his, what he got? 4 movies? I don't even understand how you get 4 movies when your shits was so trash. The first one was trash. The second was ass. The third one, that was Ragnarok. And that one was alright, but you basically stole the Hulk fucking movie. That was Planet fucking Hulk. I remember that shit, bro. Thor stole fucking Planet Hulk. And then the last one, I didn't even watch it because it just looked so damn bad. Like, nigga never had a good movie. So I don't understand why people even like how he got that many movies, actually. But y'all can't give a Incredible Hulk his own movie. Like, bro. And it probably sounds like a dick riding Incredible Hulk, because I am. I don't give a fuck either. I don't like Thor. His movies is ass. The whole time they was ass. Like, that was one of the movies I didn't watch too many times because it was so ass.
New and fresh for a blockbuster franchise.
They built this excitement with movies like Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America the First Avenger. Movies that are in no way perfect, but are fun, character-driven stories that were nailing on-screen versions of these characters for the first time. Then finally, 2012's Avengers released and became one of the biggest blockbuster events in movie history. The end credits of the movie introduced a character that in this day and age is extremely recognizable, but we're talking pre-Fortnite days.
Stone Age.
To non-comic book readers in 2012, this guy was just some big purple weirdo, but we know him as Thanos.
Word spread from the nerds soon after that Thanos and the Infinity Stones was a concept from the comics that could potentially create an even bigger blockbuster than the Avengers movie. And we could potentially be seeing years of storytelling leading up to it. And as 15-year-old nerds ourselves, we were yet again beyond excited for this. After that, Marvel had the general public in the palm of their hands, releasing some lesser movies like Thor: The Dark World and Avengers: Age of Ultron, but also massive hits like Captain America: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, Civil War, which introduced Spider-Man, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Doctor Strange, and Thor: Ragnarok.
Over a span of 6 years, we watched these movies slowly fit together like puzzle pieces as we moved toward the massive 2-part finale, Infinity War and Endgame. Wait, we have to get paid real quick. Today's sponsor is
I was going to skip it, but now I'm going to let it go.
You stink. I can smell you through the screen. But you're in luck because Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that sends fragrances to your door. God, you smell so bad. I just showered. My hair is still wet. So you're the one that smells. I'm smelling you. Scentbird actually sent us 3 scents. It was Grandmaster, Unwind, and African Rooibos. They all smelled pretty good. I think Grandmaster was my favorite. But yeah, it's real easy to use these. You just pick up the case like this. You unlock it, and then you can spray it, or you can take the bit of the case off immediately, and then you can put it back on. It's like magnetized, and you can lock it as well. An idiot could do it. An idiot who potentially smells so bad I can smell him through the screen. Anything to say? Didn't think so.
Eddie forgot to mention that it's $17 a month and you'll get a 30-day supply with each fragrance, because he can't read.
So go get some fragrances for yourself, because oh my god, dude. You smell
Nah, I don't
so
think I would
bad.
pay that.
I don't even know if I can finish the ad. So use our coupon code BURBACK for 55% off at Scentbird. Here it is on screen, and you can also click it in the description. It's available for our smelly-ass viewers in the US and Canada. Now back to the video. So it's been 11 long years, and you're finally at the end of the road. You followed these characters and this story through birthdays, graduations, that one time at the Oscars that John Travolta called Idina Menzel a Delta Zim, weddings, and it's been a while.
I ain't gonna lie. I was still thinking like Endgame. Right? Yeah, Endgame. My sister cried in that motherfucker. Like, she literally cried while we watching the movie at the end. That shit was fucking hilarious to me. But then, a nigga, I gave her some leeway because it was more than one person crying in that motherfucker. It was a bunch of, actually, there was a lot of people crying in that motherfucker for some reason.
Wild ride. We here at Marvel Studios want to thank you for coming. Now please keep your hands inside of the vehicle until the safety bar releases.
I ain't even see your ass.
It feels locked.
Welcome to Phase 4.
Phase 4?
We're not done yet. Brand new on Disney Plus, we have TV shows of all your favorite Marvel heroes.
What the fuck? I thought we were done.
Don't miss WandaVision, Captain America, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, Loki, She-Hulk, and more on our streaming service.
What the fuck is that? No, I don't know the last one. What the fuck is the last
Hawkeye,
one?
Loki, She-Hulk, and more on
What the fuck is this? I don't even know what the fuck this is. What the fuck is this bullshit? This is trash, bro. What is this?
our streaming service. We booked out the year, so there's gonna be a new episode almost every single week.
So you're not doing movies now?
Nope, we actually have more of those than ever, and we're excited to see you in theaters in between episodes of our new shows. We consider ourselves pretty average consumers of stuff like Marvel, DC, and other major movie franchises. Basically, if one of those blockbusters comes out and it's known to be pretty good and fun, we'll check it out. But we also would always prefer a non-franchise heavy movie that's great. And Phase 4 of Marvel is the exact moment where average consumers like us wanted off of the ride.
Endgame ended a decade of storytelling, and it was a massive moment. Then just before Phase 3 ended, we got Spider-Man Far From Home. Most people love Spider-Man, so yeah, okay, I'll go see that too.
But just because we want off the ride doesn't mean Marvel is gonna stop the roller coaster from moving. This is a multi-billion-dollar business.
Fuck him. Fuck him. They just doing
Movies,
Marvel wrong.
TV
Fuck.
shows, toys, clothing, video games, theme parks, and more.
Marvel isn't gonna stop making money because of our videos. That's not how businesses work. Come in.
Hey, man, did you see the new Burback video?
No, what?
They said that they don't want to watch Marvel movies anymore.
What? Get Kevin. Get Kevin.
Call Kevin.
There's simply too much money involved to care about these projects as films. Comic book fans got mad at Martin Scorsese for calling movies theme park rides, and I am begging you, if you are mad at him, to watch more movies.
The filmmakers of substance need support.
Yeah.
And the problem is the amusement park films. It's very difficult for films of substance, or I don't want to use the word personal vision, but I have. It doesn't mean it's not entertaining, right? But these projects, where can they be shown? Where can they be shown if the theaters are taken over by the well-made, beautifully made, animated pictures, in a sense?
Listen, we like Marvel. There are absolutely good projects they've made that you can emotionally connect with, but Jesus Christ,
Damn.
up your movie catalog because there are better films out there waiting for you.
After making so many franchise hits, artistic integrity has to become an afterthought for a business this big that has made over 32 blockbusters. But after all of this is when Marvel started messing around with a new hot idea in Hollywood:
Multiverses.
Just let me say it.
Now, multiverses or crossover episodes
gonna
aren't
be
a new
aggravating,
concept
man.
by a long shot. We've had crossovers from different worlds happen in media for a long time. Kingdom Hearts was a cross between the world of Final Fantasy and the world of Disney. Super Smash Bros. Did it with all the Nintendo characters. Marvel vs. Capcom. That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana and the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, to name a few from our childhood.
Nah, that was some fire shit right there. I can't even lie. Bro, I remember the fucking countdown for that shit. I used to be watching Nickelodeon waiting on that shit to come on. I remember that shit. I remember the countdown. I remember coming home every day and the countdown getting lower and lower. And I can't wait to watch that shit. Them shits was fire. Like, that shit had me so hyped, bro. Like, that was fucking the Avengers for little kids back in the day. That's how raw the shit was. I used to love
the
that
Jimmy
shit.
Timmy Power Hour, a truly revolutionary idea with one of the ugliest art styles I've ever seen on TV. The multiverse as an idea goes all the way back to the 1960s with the Flash of Two Worlds. In this comic, the Flash goes so fucking fast that he vibrates into a different universe. This is generally accepted as the first use of the multiverse, even though the actual term wasn't used until later. Since then, both Marvel and DC Comics regularly use multiverses throughout their stories and in big crossover events.
But in comics, it's not that crazy of a concept because they already do so many crossovers with other comics, different heroes, and even companies sometimes. But the Avengers 2012 set off a domino effect in movies, and especially Marvel, where these giant blockbusters would be treated as episodes to a larger story rather than focusing on telling a contained story.
Okay, let me see which ones I actually watched. I ain't gonna lie, I was about losing fucking what you call it with this. Guardians of the Galaxy I had watched. Doctor Strange. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of Doctor Strange. I didn't. What the fuck is Captain Serpent? I don't even know what the fuck that is. I ain't gonna lie. Infinity War, obviously. Didn't watch Captain Marvel, watched Black Panther, and Humans, hell no.
On its own.
Doesn't that make the individual movies worse?
Yes, but they make a lot of money.
But not all multiverse projects are soulless company decisions. Just a few years ago, we got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie was probably the first one to introduce the full idea of the multiverse to the mainstream. And to make matters worse, it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, this movie not only revolutionized what kind of style a 3D animated movie could be, it was also a fantastically heartfelt, character-focused story that juggled many insane ideas. It all came together so well that it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay.
Stop dick riding Spider-Verse so hard. I really feel like people just be dick riding the newest Spider-Man every time, bro. Everybody always say the newest Spider-Man they favorite, when everybody know the fucking choice for Spider-Man is Spider-Man 2. Like, stop dick riding the new Spider-Man so hard, bro. Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man you can ever have, and there's no other choice. Every other option is wrong. Like, every other option is wrong. Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man ever. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Now, I will entertain people saying the first Spider-Man is better. I will entertain that, because it's a good movie. I ain't gonna lie. But Spider-Man 2 was just the perfection. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. It was perfection.
Just say hour.
I'm saying
Don't have to be all about you.
Everybody, any other opinion, y'all dick riding. I don't care.
Hey, new thought. Maybe it's not all about you. This is also true about Everything Everywhere All at Once. That and Spider-Verse both use the concept of endless universes to do a deep dive on who the main character is and who they want to become. These are carefully crafted stories that people love to talk about on Letterboxd, but they are also stories where the concept of a multiverse is used to tell a character-focused story. Spider-Verse is a movie that includes infinite universes of every possible Spider-Man, but it's about Miles. Everything Everywhere All at Once isn't a story about everything, it's about a single family. Multiverses in their nature are an extremely messy concept for storytelling. This is why, if you're using it for anything but a character-focused story, let's say maybe for a concept of the next phase of your television and movie franchise, it's going to get messy as hell.
Marvel spent over 10 years slowly building a relationship with the viewer through character-focused stories. Toward the end, we started to lose that a bit, but the stories were molding into a larger narrative, so sure, we can understand that. But the finale, Endgame, included time travel and multiversal concepts that kind of destroyed the stakes of the MCU.
And that's fine if it had ended there, but to pick up the pieces after and give us Loki, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, No Way Home, and WandaVision, all stories that either briefly touch on the multiverse or are completely about the multiverse, but talk about the multiverse in completely different ways, leaves the viewer confused and disconnected. Now, we think that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was supposed to clean up these concepts for the average viewer and refocus the franchise in a way that a non-comic book TikTok fan could understand, but holy shit, man.
The villain of the movie is Scarlet Witch, who had just concluded her own side story on Disney+, but the writers of Multiverse of Madness didn't even watch the last show that led into their movie because the Marvel content machine hadn't spit out WandaVision yet. It was still in development.
It's a similar arc in Multiverse of Madness that it is in WandaVision. There could be parallel stories being told there of dealing with grief and loss. Well, I proposed that to the writers who wrote Multiverse. I said, do you know what we're doing in WandaVision? Have you seen it? And no, they had not seen it because it wasn't finished yet.
So Marvel is now in a place where their production is moving too fast to connect their projects in a cohesive way. And they're also juggling the most complicated and messy concepts with the multiverse on top of having more characters.
That was just fucking garbage, bro. Why y'all did that to my boy? Like, the Incredible Hulk was so fucking dumb, and then they tried to introduce Scar at the end. Like, you just go try to skip past that? No, like, what? That was fucking stupid. Like, they just did the Incredible Hulk wrong.
Having more characters, TV shows, and movies than ever before. So as the average person, how could we possibly care?
If we're already sacrificing individual movies being complete pieces just so we can watch a giant interconnected narrative, then the story at least needs to be easy to understand and not a massive commitment to follow.
And after all of this, Thor Ragnarok was the project that Christian Bale chose to join the MCU in? Sorry, Christian Bale, but we saw this movie and we did not like it.
I remember that, bro. I remember that, bro. That looked like something I can edit into the fucking movie, bro. When I first saw it, I thought it was fucking what the fuck is? I thought it was edited. Like, I thought they just really was fucking with people, but that shit was really in the movie.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
It was bad.
No, shut the fuck up.
Now, the multiverse is getting a little crowded, but potentially one of the biggest franchises of all time managed to avoid this and stay in one timeline. One that takes place in a galaxy far, far away. Shrek. No, I meant Star Wars. For decades, Star Wars was a simple and clean
I'm
franchise
not a big Star
for the general
Wars fan.
public.
I watched
they
them,
had an
though.
extended universe, but that's for nerds and we don't care.
Nice. What, you're gonna make me read about Star Wars?
I'm still mad that they made what the god damn it, why I can't remember Starkiller. They made him not canon. I'm a little mad about that. He was raw as fuck. He was strong as fuck, and that shit was raw, especially in fucking what you call it.
Star Wars?
Force
It's a
Unleashed.
movie.
That shit
From
was raw.
1977 to 2008, there were a total of 6 Star Wars movies and 1 animated TV show. And as somebody who's not a Star Wars fanatic but enjoys it frequently, this is an extremely easy commitment to see them live in theaters and rewatch them every few years.
Today, there are 11 movies with 4 more on the way. There are also 10 Star Wars TV shows with 24 seasons.
Now, of course, this is partially due to time passing and fans wanting more content. To be honest, getting another trilogy of movies, getting 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, and allowing Dave Filoni to make The Clone Wars for big fans of the franchise was just fine. Because when the sequels came out, you only had to do a 6-movie marathon, but mostly the original 3 to catch up.
But let's say you hadn't watched any Star Wars, but you watched The Mandalorian because somebody recommended it, and also Baby Yoda is cute as hell. The Mandalorian had the ability to be an in-universe show that didn't require other materials at all to enjoy. And then they completely destroyed that. For example, if you were watching season 2, they dedicated an episode to introducing Ahsoka. Ahsoka was one of the main characters of the animated show The Clone Wars that took place between 2 of the prequel movies. She has a bunch of backstory that's covered throughout the show, and she even showed up in another animated show, Rebels. But The Mandalorian was the first time she was shown in live action.
Aren't you glad that Ahsoka's live action now, though?
I mean, I didn't really watch The Clone Wars, so I don't really know who that is.
I watched it, but I wasn't no real, like, I didn't really fall in love with it, because it was always at the end of Cartoon Network, and I didn't want to watch fucking Star Wars. I wanted to keep watching whatever the fuck was on before that. I didn't want to watch fucking Star Wars. I wanted to keep watching cartoons, in my opinion. Like, it was at the time where, like, okay, I know after this Adult Swim finna come on, and I don't really feel like watching Adult Swim, so I would always just go to Nicktoons or something like that, or Disney XD or something like that, and watch something else. I would never like watch Star Wars all the way through.
Okay, well, let's say you did, and let's say that you're happy to see Ahsoka finally in live action.
Then thank you
For
bringing Ahsoka back.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka with an A. Ah.
Thank you for bringing Ahsoka back.
You're welcome.
Like we said before, we're pretty average consumers when it comes to this stuff, but we've also watched and played a ton of Star Wars content.
We've rewatched the movies, played the Lego games growing up, watched the Clone Wars, some of Rebels, played Battlefront 2 a ton, and up until recently kept up with The Mandalorian. And at this point, we are so tired with Star Wars. Holy shit.
Jesus, yeah.
It's just too much.
It's way too much. Other than Andor, which was fantastic, I just can't be bothered to be
What the fuck is
excited by
Andor?
Star Wars alone anymore.
We love Dave Filoni, but after the experience with Marvel, we just can't commit to another Disney Plus story that requires seasons of television and movies just to keep up with what's going on. And The Mandalorian is a perfect example for why these universes are actually pretty bad for human storytelling and art. Jon Favreau, one of the creators of Mandalorian and also the person who birthed the MCU with Iron Man in 2008, said himself that The Mandalorian doesn't have an ending plan. He said it's not like there's a finale we're building to, because at the end of the day, this is not about storytelling. It is about business. And I know that's not a surprise to most of you, but to some people, it is. A good story is planned out. A good story has meaning to it. And to drive that meaning home, the story needs an end. Look at Game of Thrones, for example. A show that was beloved by...
Bro, Game of Thrones, I didn't watch it. I've never really watched it, but I know for some people that ending was so fucking horrible and made them hate watching the whole show after that.
So many people, and now cannot even be rewatched by those people because the ending was so bad they felt like the rest of the story was totally meaningless. And I think what's so frustrating is some of these comic book movies can be art. Across the Spider-Verse just came out and was fantastic and is an achievement in art in so many different ways. But obviously we know these companies are not gonna stop making the money that they make. I mean, for the love of God, we didn't even get to touch on the DCEU and the Flash because, I mean, Tony, I think we just don't.
Ezra Miller been wildin', but I already knew the Flash wasn't gonna do too good. I ain't gonna lie.
Want to, right?
Yeah, they're just boring to talk about.
So for the love of God, at least slow down a little bit. Take your time. Make it less of a commitment for the rest of us. Give CGI artists a little bit of time to work on these movies to make them look better. Give your writers more time to make a story that's cohesive. And maybe at least try to have an individual message and personal touch to each movie. Because we are all so tired. So at this point for us, it's just too exhausting, and it'll be pretty hard to get us to go to the theater and actually see a Marvel movie. Even if you add a talented A-list actor like Christian Bale, I'm probably just gonna watch the movie on a flight. So sorry, Christian Bale.
Sorry, Christian.
Fucking kick your fucking ass. You know, shut up.
Oh, and thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this video.
Oh, damn.
We're in a
Damn, what the fuck just happened?
Perspective. When I was on this stage in 2019,
Yeah, but Marvel been fucking up. I ain't gonna lie. It ain't been as good as it used to. Like, I used to be happy when the Marvel movie was coming out, but now I'm just like, I don't really give a fuck. Besides, like, the ones I actually like Guardians of the Galaxy, that was one of the good ones, but the rest of them just fucking dumb. Like, why am I even watching this? Like, it's fucking trash. They ain't got the same quality as they did back in the day to make you be like, oh yeah, boy, I'm ready. I'm waiting.